Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm so excited to share this with you guys. We have the next in the line of extreme value knives from Miguron. If you guys remember here, very recently, Miguron released the Karak with absolutely impossible combinations of good materials and, more importantly, really well heat-treated D2, 62 to 63. I think that's what we're going to see here today. But such an impressive thing that knife came in at $37. To my knowledge, a knife with all of those things combined, that level of quality, the heat treatment, the quality of materials, the materials themselves, no combination exists outside of the Karak for that low of a price. Until today, we now have the next one here. It's just funny. Miguron's competing with no one. There's no one competing with them. They're just hitting Grand Slam after Grand Slam. So really happy to see this. I can't wait to get this out and share it with you guys. I'll link it down in the description. These are only $35. $35 in 2026. I just can't believe it's just amazing to me that people can get. I would have died 10 years ago to get a knife this good for $35. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to Miguron for sending these in. This model is called the Celora. Celora. Okay, we're gonna do these one at a time. Get these out. The Karak, great knife. Had a little bit of a weird aesthetic. Didn't quite tickle the fancies of everybody. Understandable. Obviously, the implication there is that Miguron is able to do these things, these combinations at these prices. So, makes sense that they would offer different shapes of said item. Oh, and this one is purple. God, are you freaking kidding me? $35. This is crazy. So this is like fade anodized aluminum, button operated liner lock. Again, so cool. This is so cool. Not only are they not giving us the same plunge lock slop, or well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with plunge. We're still going to see plunge locks and crossbar locks, and I think, Miguron still makes them. But they're offering a variation. And they're not only exclusively putting that variation on knives that cost more money. Here we have a $35 aluminum fade ano purple knife. Flipper, button action's crazy good, by the way. Front flipper, thumb stud, right? And if you don't like, I noticed in another video where there was a knife with multiple deployments. Someone was like, just pick one. Just pick one. I can't bear to live on the same planet as knives that have multiple deployment methods. Just pick one and, yeah, but you pick one and don't use the others. Or just buy one of the other 10 quadrillion knives in the same category, right? But multi-deployment knives, I like. I think they're cool. I like that I can choose the different means of deployment depending on what I'm feeling like in that moment. I don't really feel like any of these deployment methods are in the way of anything else. We have, thank goodness, a pocket clip that's mountable for left or right hand carry. Look at this. Nested pocket clip, nested screws. Left or right hand carry. So cool. Look at that button there. Oh my goodness. And then of course we have, look at the finish on this too. Hold on. It's not even like a typical, kind of like a nicer stonewash finish too. And then we have, is this one? What does this say? What does this say? Okay, 19C27. So this is a 19C27 bladed pocket knife. Now, I said D2. I think that actually they sent me two models, and you guys are going to see the other model on a different day. But the 19C27, is that Sandvik? It's actually a steel that I'm not incredibly familiar with, but I'd venture to guess that they're going to heat treat that stuff well as well. And if Taylor does not already have samples, Taylor from Taylor Hardness, whose website is linked at the bottom of my description, he actually had samples of Miguron's D2, and I think a few other things sent directly to him for testing, which is where we confirmed that they were actually hitting D2 from 62 to 63 HRC, which is unheard of. It might not be everybody's preference, but the point is that Miguron will do it. And all of these companies saying, oh, we can't because price, or, oh, it's going to be, like we can't get it above 60 because it's going to be too hard to sharpen or it's going to be too that's ridiculous. But the whole idea that a lot of these companies can't hit D2 at these higher numbers because it would drive the price up so high that they wouldn't have any interested buyers. This was either the general thought process from the community, or it was an excuse that was, sort of kind of just very loosey-goosey tossed out there. Of course, this is hogwash. Now, if Miguron can do that, then it means that any of these companies should be able to do it. So the 19C27 is probably their stainless alternate. The D2 being the non-stainless, high hardness, high edge retention. The 19C27, probably higher toughness, higher corrosion resistance, and then lower potential edge retention, but they probably will still hit it at a higher HRC than what people would expect. I don't know any additional details about 19C27. I don't know that I've ever actually reviewed a knife in that steel, but it sounds like a Sandvik steel. I might be wrong about that. But very, very cool. Let's go ahead and get these other ones out. I'm sitting here talking about this one knife. I want to see the other variations. I love that they're doing the button operated liner locks. I just absolutely love it. We're going to pry that lid out of there because these lids, so look how hard that thing's holding on. Get out. There we go. Jeez. I'm not going to do that with my finger there. But next variation here, is this still aluminum? Oh my gosh. This is like that we're not limited. What is this? Is this some type of it's not, I don't think this is aluminum. Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the listing. We're not reviewing these knives today. This is a blind unboxing and first impressions, but it does not quite feel like aluminum. It feels like synthetic. Man, I don't know. But we have these big gold chunks. I don't know if there's a resin or what. It's odd, but it feels nice. Definitely. Very cool looking. And it's nice to be, away from the typical, you can pick black G10 or you can pick OD green G10 or even blue. That's nice and that's cool. And I think that those options should always be available for people who don't want, the bright and shiny colors. But when that's the only choice, that has been primarily the vast majority of our choices for the budget knife world for the last 1,000 years. The modern budget knife world, those have been our choices for the last 20 to 30, at least, right? Before, everything that came after, bone and wood, right? That's pretty much all it was for pocket knives until they developed some of these other materials. The final one here, super cool. Love the green and gold. The blue added in there is a little bit of an odd choice, but, okay. I can't tell. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're all aluminum. It just doesn't initially feel as metallic-y. It looks like a different material. Yeah, this is more shiny or whatever. So super cool. All of them feel the same. All the detents feel really good. I'll give you guys a look at the detent here. Yeah, really nice. Really nice and completely drop shut. Completely drop shut. Same thing, exactly the same. Click. So, the fact that Miguron can create stuff like this, have consistency in execution, in heat treatment, get things like, centering the blade correctly, no detent lash, no lock rock, right? Consistency in the solidity and reliability of the locking system. That's awesome. The fact that they can do this for $35, it makes me question every other company. Not, people are going to be like, yeah, and Kershaw's Bel Air is $165. That's made in the USA. Made in the USA. Labor costs, manufacturing costs substantially higher. They cannot make those knives and sell them for $35. And if you think that, it's not a matter of opinion, you're just wrong. You're just factually wrong. But when we're comparing Chinese budget knives made out of similar materials, right? There are plenty of companies out there making exactly the same or lesser products that are easily selling stuff like this for nearly double, right? Or in the case of some companies who are like, oh, because it's like 14C28N, yeah, that'll be $80. Now, Miguron currently has 14C28N knives that sell for $45. So as far as I'm concerned, I've never actually seen as many knives that I have handled and reviewed. I say this a lot, but I'll remind you again. I have over 6,000 uploads. 6,000. I have not handled everything. I've handled a lot of stuff. I have never seen a company execute like this for this low of a cost. Typically, once you get under $30, most things are just trash. They're just actual garbage that people just sort of are like, whatever, I'll use it until it breaks, and it breaks pretty quickly. There is very little to zero attempt at quality control. Heat treatment does not exist. It's just a wedge of steel that can be sharpened, and then it'll go dull immediately, and then you're just pushing that dull wedge into whatever it is that you're splitting or dividing. You're not really cutting it anymore. But typical, you know, like your Tac Force and your Smith & Wesson stuff and your freaking Browning and your Winchester and your all that, like anywhere from tactical to like hunting, it's meant to appeal to those different. And then you also have like the fantasy stuff, like that's all lumped in there. The sub $30 category is just the garbage category. Miguron makes a couple of good knives under $30, but they have essentially no competition. A lot of the Amazon stuff that looks like it might be good, even after doing a little bit of shopping, I created some uploads. The best of it was still kind of off, a little weird. And again, I don't know that I trust the heat treatment. I need to get a lot of that stuff to Taylor for testing. But I don't trust their heat treatment because there's been nobody to keep them in check. They're selling on Amazon to people who just want knife for lowest price. Knife that look good for lowest price. That's who they're appealing to. So going out of their way to make sure that their heat treatments, number one, exist, and number two, are consistent is probably low on the priority list, right? But Miguron, who has the attention of this neck of the woods, has been paying attention to their HRC and has been, like doing it consistently. I mean, even when they were lower, it was consistent. Now they're pushing for higher HRC. Even if this isn't your cup of tea, view it as an example of what they are capable of and what is to come in the future. Eventually, they will make a shape of cutting object that will appeal to you, and it won't cost very much. That's pretty cool. I really hope that Miguron sees a ton of success. Obviously, in order to, really benefit from this as a company, they need to sell. It's a quantity thing. They're not making a killing on the profit here for each individual knife. Obviously, their strategy is to sell many, many, many of them. And from my perspective, it's a good strategy, because there are so few companies who are willing to make something like this, reduce the cost this low, that they are kind of in their own special little category right now, at least until they start to get some more competition. But I think these are awesome. I think these are cool. I've been rambling on long enough. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Eventually, you will get a review of this pocket knife, probably a couple of weeks down the road. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.